Hey guys, in this video I'm going to be talking to you all about track stacks in Logic. Okay, so first of all, what are track stacks? There are two types of track stacks in Logic. You have a folder stack and a summing stack. So essentially, just in case you didn't know, a stack is a group of instruments. So down here I have got some bass instruments. There we go, 4 bass instruments. If I select all of them, right click on them, I can go to this thing called Create a Track Stack. Now, why would I want to do this? 2 reasons. Firstly, organizational. So I could go to this and say, I want a folder stack, just to neaten it up a bit. Press join and then join that. So then I have all of my bass instruments in this one folder. You can see this track is filled with stacks because then you are able to see the whole lot as if they're in groups. It's a really nice way to do it. It's a really nice way to keep your sessions clean and tidy and visually appealing. And also, if I go into the mixer, you can see that this little chappy has formed a VCA fader. So if I do want to control the volume of that channel, then I can do that by moving that VCA up and down. Now that's great for organization and perhaps in the mixing stage when you just want to have a better control of the volume of your groups. But what if you wanted to do more? What if you wanted to be able to add inputs to this group, add effects, send that to another bus, have more flexibility? And that's when the other stack comes in. So I've selected the channels. Previously I right clicked, but you can of course go up to track and create track stack or shift command and D. So that gives me the option to choose a folder or a summing stack. I'm going to choose summing stack this time. Now you'll see what happens is this goes into sum 9. It's a shame it didn't say sum 41 really. Sum 9 here, and you can see it in the mixer. I can collapse, I have control over what happens with this in the mixer, but it's going to a bus 9, and I can rename that to bass, of course. So now I can add things to that channel, say a compressor if I wanted to. So let's just have a quick listen to see what that would sound like. Some aggressive strings and beats for you. Now this is a really, really useful thing to do. And this is what I do when I work, and especially when I'm preparing my tracks to be sent to the mixing or mastering engineer, or when I'm dealing with what's called stems. We'll deal with stems at another time. It's essentially groups of sounds collected into one audio file, or in this case, one stack. This stack allows me to muck around with the compressor and say that I want it to do, in fact, let's go up to string short. I've got OTT on there. Let's say I wanted another compressor on there. Let's say I wanted a little bit of reverb on that channel too. And let's see how that sounds now. It's a bit wet. Okay, this is just an example. Say I love that sound, and I want to be able to save this so that I can use that track stack later on down the line. The way to do that is to select the stack you want to save. So let's say, for example, I want to save this drum stack. Now, when I click on it, it opens up the menu here, but then down at the bottom you see this little save button. I'm going to click on that save button, and I'm going to call this drums test. And notice, this is really important, it's in the instrument folder. If it's not in the instrument folder, for instance, it might be in the aux folder, it needs to be in the instrument folder for you to be able to see it in the instrument menu. That's all saved now, so let's say I open up a new folder, a new track, and I want to load up the drums stack again. When I open up this new channel, you'll see it appear, user patches appears, and I have my drums test, which I just saved, and it loads up all of the instruments and everything that I have saved in that patch. It's really important, if you want to be able to see it in this menu on the left in your library of sounds and instruments, you save it in the instrument folder. Otherwise, it's going to be saved in one of these folders, the auxiliary folder, for instance, or the bus folder, which will then load it up as a channel strip setting rather than the instrument patch containing all the instruments. Right, I hope this was helpful. I hope you enjoyed it, and go and make some stacks of your own.